Hi, my name is Bernie Wonder, and I'm a member of the Calvert Toastmasters Club. Today, I'd like to give a short video on navigating pathways and some of the websites that we use here in Toastmasters. With that, I'll begin sharing my screen. You should see a picture of our homepage for the Calvert Toastmasters Club. When you became a member, you were given IDs and passwords to two web pages, the club website and also for the headquarters. If you go halfway down on the page here, there is a link to the main page, home page of the headquarters for Toastmasters. At the top, you'll see your name. I've already logged in. One of the first things you should do is click on it. Scroll down a little bit. And you'll see this is a profile of yourself in Toastmasters. I've been a member since 1981. My home address and phone numbers and everything are listed on the right, and on the left and on the right you'll see things like education award, offices held, all kinds of history in Toastmasters. If you want to look at my education award, I received the level 1 development, leadership development back in November 29th, 2018. It goes all the way back to 2003, so therefore it doesn't cover my entire Toastmasters career. I did get my Distinguished Toastmaster February 8th, 2010. You want to keep all your information current on the headquarters website, because this is where, for your whole Toastmasters career, things are tracked. Let's go to education. I'll start with a big overview. About halfway down is a tab called Distinguished Toastmasters. It shows two programs, the education program and the pathways. The education program was a traditional program that we were in since Toastmasters was incorporated, but it was terminated on June the 30th, 2020, so it's no longer applicable. On the right is the new pathways, totally online. You have to complete 2 learning paths, serve as a club officer for 12 months, complete 1 term as a district officer. Most of us choose the area director or the area governor in the old days, serve as a club mentor or coach, serve as a club sponsor, or conduct a speechcraft or youth leadership program, and then complete the DTM project. This is new to Pathways. I did not have to complete a DTM project. I didn't know what it was until I called headquarters last week and found out that once you're in your level 3 of your second path, you call headquarters and they will activate your DTM project. From what I can see, it's some kind of a capstone project to support an organization or club, similar to what the Boy Scouts do for their Eagle project or Girl Scouts do for their Gold Award. And then this hyperlink called Distinguished Toastmaster Award application. Now you're going to list all the offices, paths you completed, things like that to get your Distinguished Toastmasters. Going back to education, we'll get the grand view of what pathways are. And there's 11 paths available to us, everything from leadership to coaching to mentoring. I signed up for the one called Leadership Development. All the paths are fairly similar. Level 1 is where you start out with your icebreaker and evaluations. Level 2, things like leadership style, mentoring. It's in 3, 4, and 5 that you get into the particulars for your path, because they have these what they call electives. For example, in mine, there's one called using presentation software, which I did a few meetings back. Level 4 gets a little more complicated and sophisticated. Things like managing projects or public relations strategies, and then electives. Level 5, things like high performance leadership or moderating a panel. So these are the 5 levels that every path has. The one thing I did learn is that you don't have to complete a level before you can go in to do some of the electives in the higher levels. And this is new to Pathways. For example, like I said, in level 3, I did that presentation software before I've completed my level 2. Now we can go to Pathways itself, go to the base camp. You'll see 3 tabs, one on the left. You'll start out with doing an assessment, and it will recommend a path for you. Again, if you want to go in a different direction or find something more interesting, sign up for that path. And on the right is the navigator, which is the tutorials and other assistance for getting through Pathways. In the center, there are 2 tabs. For me, it's going to the base camp, and then there's a login as a base camp manager. Only the president, vice president of education, or secretary will see this. Most of you will just go to base camp. If you got a pop-up blocker, you're going to have to disable it. So this is the home page for Pathways. My recommendation is that you would watch this short 2-minute film.
We are excited to share that Basecamp has a new look, designed to help you find the things you need faster. Getting to Basecamp hasn't changed. Simply log into your profile on www.toastmasters.org and click the Go to Basecamp button. When you log in, you'll notice several changes. The very first thing on the page is this new Paths and Learning button. By clicking it, you will be taken to your Paths and Other Learning, the page you may know as your education transcript. If you need to download a speech evaluation, you can access all evaluation resources using this button here. And if you're looking for a project description or other Pathways resource, they are all readily available by clicking this button. Just like before, you can get a preview of your learning in the Paths and Learning box, and even access your path using this Open Curriculum button. Suggested learning, such as the Pathways Mentor Program, will continue to show here as soon as it's available to you. Let's look at a few other features. You might have noticed that the color of the navigation bar changed. Like before, you can use this navigation bar to return to the Basecamp homepage and access tutorials and resources. Now, the new Paths and Learning link will also allow you to get back to your path from anywhere on Basecamp. And if you need to return to the Toastmasters website, you can do so by using this link. This space will periodically host new videos featuring things like Basecamp updates, tutorials, and more. Right underneath the video, you'll find quick links to other familiar Basecamp pages. Use these links to access feedback, view badges, and upload documents. If you'd like a detailed tutorial on how to get to Basecamp, see the Let's Log In to Basecamp tutorial, available in the video description.
So that's a quick overview of Pathways homepage. One thing you can do is get to different areas by using different links. For example, I'm going to click on this one, and it brings up Paths and Learning. At the top, you'll see 4 tabs: Profile, Feedback, Paths and Learning, and eProfile. The first thing you should do is go to your base profile. And here you can put a picture of yourself, put some interests that you do, some information, And also it'll show you what roles you've completed. General evaluator, Toastmaster of the day, things like that. Up here where it says my account, you would go in and log when you complete one of those meeting roles. The next one is called feedback. I have not used this. I think new members should use this more to get feedback from other members in the club on their speeches or paths and what they're doing. I'm going to jump over to this ePortfolio. This is where you file documents, see your badges. So in my documents, you can see the level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there's a general one called My Documents. Here you could put things like maybe you found an article in Toastmaster about speaking better or better leadership techniques, things like that. You could put into this, that's your library. But in level 1, this is where you should file your evaluations and your speech notes. Some people actually write out their entire speech, scan it, put it in here. But you can see all of the different supporting documentation that you have for that level. It's very easy to put in a document. You just click on the tab, Add Documents. You can see here is badges. And level 1, I achieved. Let me just go back to that documents. I wanted to show. So if I'm in level 1, see add file, select a file, add. That's all it takes to put a document into your portfolio. Now let's go back to paths and learning. First thing I would do is you can see my leadership path. Let's go over here and click on this down arrow and you can see training details. This here is a whole outline of your curriculum and your paths and what you've completed, in progress, or activated. You can see I've completed in level 1 icebreaker and module on evaluation. Then you can see I am in progress in my level 2, the last 2 modules. I did this presentation software, I've completed that. So you can see your whole path and what you've done and what you need to do. So now let's go back to the paths and learning. Now, if I open up my leadership development, there's the 5 levels. You can see level 1, all the blue check marks. I've completed them. I'm 100%. Level 2, I'm at 25%. I've completed the first module. I'm working on the next 2. Level 3, 17%. I haven't completed the first module, but like I said, you can see I did an elective. What did I do? I used presentation software. Level 4, I haven't done anything. Level 5, I haven't done anything. So this is how you launch your level. You would go here, click on launch, and once you're in this module, you'll be given tutorials and PowerPoint presentations and other information on what you have to do, checklists, evaluation forms, all of that is in that module. And that shows you what you need to do to complete your path and in pathways. Now let me go back. I wanted to go back now to our home page on the website. If you go to members only, meeting agendas. So here's where you can sign up for roles. Vice President of Education will assign roles. If you can't complete a role. You can always X out or unsign yourself. Let's take a look at speaker number 2 here. This is Irina, who's going to give a speech at our next Toastmasters meeting. She's got her path, dynamic leadership, same as one I'm in. Her project is evaluation and feedback. What she has to do is incorporate feedback from her first speech into this speech. It's got a project description, basically describing what I just said, and then an evaluation form. And this way, the evaluator can just click on this button and download that form, type in the evaluation, and send it to Irina. She could have also downloaded it off Pathways and sent an email, but by using the agenda, if we change evaluators at the last minute or anything, all of this stuff is in a neat little package that will help us conduct a successful speech and give an evaluation to the speaker. If you want to put your title in here and then write out a brief speech introduction for the Toastmaster of the day. This makes it easy for the Toastmaster of the day to introduce speakers, know what's going on, and conduct a successful meeting, and the speaker will get a successful evaluation. Continuing on down, there's meeting notes. So if you can't attend a meeting, please put a meeting note in there that you can't attend or whatever. And the other area that I would ask people to look at is called the club calendar. We should be using this more. Here you can see when the meetings are. There's the executive board meeting from last week. There's the Zoom meeting I am doing right now that trying to help people get through pathways and websites. And that will help us all have a successful meeting, successful club year, and do a lot of great things in the club. I want to briefly go back to this. This is from the Basecamp Manager, and I wanted to show people what the Vice President of Education and the other officers, like President and Secretary, can get. Here's a listing of our members, and you can see Robin has done level 1. This is all of the paths that people are working on. It has names. So you could see, for example, in this one, there's 3 of us that are working in leadership development. If we wanted to help each other or give feedback to each other, this is a way to do it. And then we can also look at the levels. For example, under level 1, here's all of the people that are working or either completed it. This one's completed. Irina's got 1 in progress, things like that. Level 2, same thing. It just shows who's doing what levels and what projects and what speeches, things like that. But this is feedback that we can provide the members to show you what is going on in the Pathways program. So with that, I'd like to conclude and tell everybody to work as hard as you can in Pathways. You basically get out what you put into it. And I think it's an enjoyable journey. You can learn a lot in speaking and leadership. One of the things I would ask, if you have a question, please send an email to me or to the Vice President of Education or to any member in the club, because we've probably ran into that same problem. Pathways can be confusing. Don't let it frustrate you. But I would encourage everybody to try their best and to enjoy their journey. Thank you.